Hello, welcome back to my corridors. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my corridors. So I'm finally doing the spring of 2025 metal favorites. Those who have been on my channel long enough know what that is. If not, that means that I'm just sharing like my favorite bands I've been listening to of every season or every like month or whatever, just something like that. But anyway, I have my rooibos tea and my Children of Bodom mug. As you can tell, today is a Children of Bodom day, but every day can be a Children of Bodom day, so. And rooibos tea is really good. I'll leave in the description how to spell that, because I highly recommend it. But anyway, I have a list on my current phone. Some of them may be repeats, but here it is. First is Ghost Bath, because I saw Ghost Bath with Swallow the Sun back in March. I saw them in Pensacola at the Handlebar. Oh my gosh, they're such a good band, and that was, out of all that lineup, all the bands that played that day were so good, but my favorite definitely had to be Ghost Bath. And their singer hugged me, so that was just so sweet. Swallow the Sun, of course, because I got to go see Swallow the Sun, and they're amazing. And I was like slowly starting to get into more like gothic doom metal. Some I already liked from the beginning, others like I hadn't taken the time to listen to, but definitely Swallow the Sun is getting there. False Gods, because I got to see False Gods twice this year. Gosh, they're such a good band, and those guys are so cool. And they are coming out with a new album, from what I know, and they've told me themselves that they are. So I highly recommend False Gods. Please listen to them. Norther. They're melodic death metal. I don't think they're around anymore. I saw a picture of Alexi from Children of Bodom wearing a shirt for Norther, and I had known that band forever, but this year I finally looked them up and took the time to listen to them. I don't know what country they're from. They might be from Finland, but I don't know. Such a good band, very underrated. Norther is, I don't think they're around anymore, but I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they're so good. My favorite song of theirs is Frozen Angel. Snakes of Russia, not metal, more so like dark electronic music. Very good, very relaxing to listen to. I got a picture with him. His name is Joseph, and he's such a nice guy. He is so cool. I highly recommend Snakes of Russia. Avantasia. So, it was started by Tobias Sammet, and I know him from another band called Edguy. I even include it in the list too. Avantasia came out with another album this year, and I've loved Avantasia ever since high school. I just totally forgot about my love for them. They're power metal, and so when I heard the new album and I loved it, it kind of rekindled my love for Avantasia, and I started listening to old songs I love by them. So yes, I love Avantasia. Edguy. Started listening to Edguy again because of the new Avantasia album. Edguy is cool. Edguy is amazing. I don't know if I included this in my CD collection, my current I don't think this even made it to the CD collection video earlier this year, but I got my copy of King of Fools. It's an EP. Not many songs are on it. Of course, EPs. So, my favorite record store in California when I was living there had a copy of this CD. And I was like, I wanted it, but I didn't buy it. I don't know why. And that store closed down. I've told y'all about Rasputin's tons of times. So I got myself a CD to make up for that, so yeah. Pantera and Amarth, because I'm going to go see them in September. I'm going to see Pantera a second time, and I want to go see Amarth, because those are bands I've already loved since day one. So, you know, any day is a good day, any day is a good day to listen to Pantera and Amarth. I slept a little too much today, so I'm talking weird. Destruction. I don't know how I started listening to their music again, but I love Destruction. Very good band. They're part of the German Big Four thrash metal. Obituary, because I saw Obituary in Baton Rouge. That was probably, out of every show I've been to, that's definitely one of the, if not my favorite show I've been to so far this year. And seeing Obituary is worth every penny and more. So yes, Obituary, it's always good to listen to Obituary. Napalm Death and the Melvins, because I've been listening to them quite a bit actually. So Deezer has their version of Wrapped, but you know how Spotify has Wrapped, but instead of like, it is an annually thing, but they have like a monthly Wrapped, like a monthly recap for Deezer. And Napalm Death and Melvins ended up in my April. Go figure. But you know, seeing them live was so fun, and I made so many good memories seeing them. That was worth every penny. Exhorder, because I saw them in Vicksburg. And I met a couple of their members. I met Pat O'Brien and I met Kyle Thomas. Such nice guys. And they're such a fun band to listen to. Another NOLA band. Highly recommend Exhorder. Eyehategod, no brainer, because I got to go see Eyehategod. And of course, they're always a good band. And I met Jimmy Bauer and I met Mike IX Williams. And Mike IX Williams let me give him a hug. That was such a fun memory. Ignominious. They're from Ohio. They're like brutal death metal. I saw them at the Sunflower Oven on St. Patty's Day, and they were such a fun band to see, and they're such a fun band to listen to. They love to sing about alligators. I have a beer sleeve for them somewhere. Let me get it out real quick. Oh, I just dropped my phone again. Oh, I don't ever pay attention. Okay. So here's my little beer sleeve for them. And on the back it says come. Because why not? And I talked to their singer. I was like, why do y'all love alligators so much? He's like, honestly, they're just so badass. And they are. I love alligators. I especially love them when they're babies. They're so cute as babies. Plagueburner. I've mentioned Plagueburner quite a bit. Two of the members of False Gods are in Plagueburner. They live in Vicksburg. Another Vicksburg metal band. I mentioned like the metal bands from Vicksburg, Mississippi. They have their little circle of bands there. And Plagueburner happens to be one of them. They don't have anything out yet, but hopefully soon in the future they will. Overkill. Thrash metal. Obviously, y'all know who Overkill is. I started to listen to them again. I loved them ever since high school, and this year is like, not only am I getting into like new bands that I really wanted to, it's like rediscovering my love for bands I already loved. So, yeah, and I have an Overkill patch on my purse. And I found an album from a very underrated album in The End of All Music for them. Oh, gosh. Oh, here it is. I don't know. Derek didn't even know this album, and he loves Overkill. This album is called Bloodletting. Says came out 2000, maybe 2001, but anyway, very underrated album, and I love it. Alestorm, because Alestorm is always amazing. Pirate metal. I've loved Alestorm ever since I was a kid, as in like I was 16, 17. I love them. And I'm finally going to get a chance to go see Alestorm. I'm going to go see them in Nashville in September. Me and Derek are going to take a little vacation over there. We're going to meet up over there and have fun in Nashville. We're going to see Alestorm and Gloryhammer. And I'll mention Gloryhammer in the list of favorites too, because I loved them ever since high school too. And I'm finally going to get to see both bands. I've loved them so much. And Derek and I are going to go see them together. So that'll be fun. So yeah, Alestorm and Gloryhammer in the list. Folkstone. Very underrated folk metal. They were randomly playing in my playlist one time, and that's how I know about them. I can like find maybe an album by them. I don't even think a lot of people have even heard of Folkstone, so I actually don't really know where they're from. But yeah, they're very good, very underrated. Do listen to Folkstone, and I'll probably try and find something for them and put them in the link down below. But anyway, yeah. Korpiklaani. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce their name, but I've loved them since high school. Folk metal. They love to sing about beer. They love to sing about their native country, Finland. They're so fun to listen to. Folk metal is just such a fun genre to listen to. I love it so much. Hiraes. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce their name either. they're from Germany. They're melodic death metal. They're female fronted. I'll try to find one of their songs, and I probably easily can, and put it in the link down below. I started listening to them, and they're so good, so underrated. I don't know how I ended up finding their music, but they're so good. Hiraes, and I may be mispronouncing them, so if y'all could, like, in the comments correct me and tell me how to pronounce that name, that would be great. Shadows Fall. I've seen CDs, like, every store I went to for Shadows Fall, and they're even on one of the metal samplers I have. So I listened to them, like, okay, this is so good, I want to get into them, and I'm trying to find a CD for them, and I can't. So I guess somebody bought them. So I just found their music. I just found one of their albums on Deezer and listened to it. Very good band. They might still be around, I'm not sure, but Shadows Fall is really good. Nightwish, I've started to rediscover their music again, because I bought a tour shirt for them, and it was a show I really wanted to go to back in 2018. I was like, 17? And the parents I was living with at the time didn't take me, so I begged and pleaded them to take me to go see Nightwish, and they never did, and they're currently taking a hiatus, so I don't know when they'll be back, and I've been dying to see Nightwish forever, so I'm crossing my fingers that that's like the one band on my bucket list now, is going to see Nightwish. I mean, there's several others, but that's just like the main one. That's my priority. Like, I'm not hesitating when they go back on tour, hopefully soon. Anyway, yeah. Black Tusk. I'm still listening to Black Tusk. I saw them back in September of last year. That was the first show I went to when I moved back here, and they're so fun to listen to. It's good driving music. Highly recommend Black Tusk. For those who don't know, they're sludge metal, and they're from Savannah. They're from Savannah, Georgia. Very good band to listen to. I got to talk to their members when I saw them. I have a long sleeve for them. Such a good band. Kill Devil Hill. Because I saw them at Martin's. I was supposed to see them at Martin's in November. Flinghammer was going to open up for them, but they had a family emergency, and their vocalist said that it's because his mother passed away, so that's why I didn't see them then. But no, they were good. The only thing I didn't like was that show started so late. I went with a couple friends of mine. I went with my friends Joe and Chance, and we all saw them together, and I got to talk to their singer, got a picture with him. I never showed this picture. It's somewhere. My friend Joe and I took a picture with their singer Dewey Bragg, and he was so nice, and I got a couple stickers and put them on my car. They were a good band. They were the only band that played. They were good. It was really a super group. The drummer of Typo Negative is in the band too. I didn't end up meeting Johnny Kelly, because I think it's also because he's the drummer of Danzig, I think. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's probably why he didn't end up being at the show, because he is in Danzig. But yeah. The Ruins of Beverast. Somebody in the comments recommended I listen to them, and I did, and I'm hooked. So they're like blackened doom metal. They're from Germany. Very good. Very underrated. I highly recommend the Ruins of Beverast. And I'll even list in the description all these bands too. Bloodywood. I always go back to listening to their music. They're folk metal from India. So good. They're so fun to listen to. They came out with another album this year, and their music never disappoints. Sons of Gulliver and Redbeard Wall. I saw them at the Sunflower Oven on the same day. I think both bands are good, Sons of Gulliver and Redbeard Wall, but Sons of Gulliver I think I like more. I don't know what it is. Something about them I really like. Hopefully I don't drop the phone this time. I didn't buy any shirts that day, but bought myself one of these dugouts. So basically what you do is, hopefully I don't break it, it's where it's got a one hitter in here, and basically it's where you smoke weed. I don't have any weed. I mean, you can smoke anything, and I've actually used it a couple times. I've smoked like herbs and black tea leaves with them. And it even smells like ash. And I smoked on 420, because why not? So I am going to get a medical marijuana card eventually. In the state of Mississippi, you have to have a medical marijuana card. And thankfully, there were some people, when I saw Exhorder, they had a booth for it. And they gave me a pamphlet on how to get one. So, yeah, I'm sure most of y'all have probably seen one of these. It looks like a cigarette. So, I don't do this very often. It's not recommended to smoke anything on a regular basis. It's better to do it more in moderation. But yeah, no, here's my dugout for Sons of Gulliver. I wanted to get a Redbeard Wall shirt, but they didn't have one in my size. I don't even know if they had a medium. I can't remember. It was like a gray shirt, and the design was red, and I loved it so much, but no, they didn't have it. And those guys in both of those bands were so nice. And those two are duos. Sons of Gulliver is a duo, Redbeard Wall is a duo, and for a duo, those bands are pretty good. Like, they're awesome. They need more appreciation. They're both from Texas, I think. So yeah, definitely, I highly recommend them. Dream Theater. You know, I was never crazy about Dream Theater. I did like them in high school, but it was only like a couple albums and a couple songs. But this year, I started to officially get into prog metal, and what do you know? Listen to Dream Theater. And they never disappoint. Strapping Young Lad. That was I don't think they're around anymore. But that was like started by Devin Townsend, I think. And I forgot, it was Gene from Death, I think. But I could be wrong. Again, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, Strapping Young Lad, I just started to discover their music. I knew who they were for a while, but I never took the time to listen to them or look up who they were. They were on one of the metal samplers of mine. The metal sampler CDs I brought. I have quite a few, actually. Yeah, Strapping Young Lad is on the Metal of the Masses. Metal for the Masses, excuse me. The CD I bought at the flea market months ago. So that's how I know about them. I officially listen to their music. The metal samplers are always great when you want to find new bands. Yeah, Strapping Young Lad is good. Highly recommend. Alright, this will be the last metal band, because I have another band I recommend, and y'all probably know who they are, but I'll get into that later. So the last metal band on the metal favorites is Encircled. They're like symphonic deathcore. They kind of remind me of Shadow of Intent, and I'm not crazy about core, like deathcore anymore. And there's a few bands I still like Whitechapel, Shadow of Intent, of Sulphur. There's a couple that I still have a soft spot for, but anyway, I saw them. They were at Urban Foxes, and I guess, well, no, hardly anyone really showed up except the band members of these bands that played. But anyway, I got a CD for Encircled Throne, and they kind of have a theme going on here in this album. It's like the 7 deadly sins. And even all the songs that are, like, for example, it's like an abbreviation. It says Lost Under Scarred Thoughts. That's abbreviation for lust. Oh gosh, they even mentioned they included a couple Easter eggs. Oh, it's so funny. But you know, their music is so good. I highly recommend them. And I got them to look at my YouTube channel. So, yeah. I have a sticker for them. Yeah, maybe I'll put it on my car. Maybe I'll put it on my binder. It's just a smaller sticker, so I'm not sure what I'll do with it. But anyway, no, the False God sticker I'm putting on my car, and I'm going to go do that eventually. I just don't know when. But anyway, Encircled Throne, they're from Tupelo, Mississippi. It's like up in northern Mississippi. I have a childhood friend that lives there, and he watches my channel. Hi, Marius. I love to shout out people who watch my channel. It's just something I like to do. But yeah, no, I have a childhood friend that lives in Tupelo, and eventually I'm going to take a trip to Tupelo. I just don't know when. I gotta get a job first. Wait, yeah. Listen to Encircled Throne, they're good. Last band is Blue Öyster Cult. They're not metal, but they are amazing. And I got to see them on my birthday. It was in Choctaw, Mississippi. I got Derek a shirt. Well, some nice guy bought a shirt for me because, like, I wanted to buy a shirt, but it was cash only. But some guy was, like, so nice enough to buy me a shirt, and I got one for Derek. So, no, I couldn't get myself a blue Öyster Cult shirt, but yeah, no. They're always good. I enjoy a lot of classic rock outside of metal. And that ticket wasn't even $30. I'm just surprised. And, you know, you would think they'd be more expensive for the Blue Öyster Cult. But, no, it wasn't that expensive. But, yeah, I saw them on my birthday, and that was one of the better birthdays I've had in a while. So, yeah, that was pretty fun. Anyway, that's it. I hope y'all like my list of the spring 2025 favorites. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, whatever. And I'll see y'all later, and stay metal.